Chào mừng trở lại mọi người. Hôm nay tôi sẽ dạy bạn cách nấu thịt heo với củ cải. I'm very excited. This is a really good dish to eat. My family will be eating this for lunch today, so let's get started. Our first number one ingredient is our wonderful pork. I got this specifically from Costco. This one cost me around 13 bucks. Gets you 6 pieces. We're going to be using around 5 today. Got drinking water in a medium-sized bowl. We have our sugar, đường. We have our garlic and onions, our hành and tỏi. We have iodized salt for cleaning the pork with water. We have our olive oil, dầu ô liu. This is a new one. Got a premium oyster sauce. Our classic fish sauce, the nước mắm, pure sea salt, muối. California garlic, tỏi. And our wonderful fine ground black pepper, tiêu đen. Next is our other main ingredient, a radish, củ cải. You can get this at your local supermarket. I could not find this at Costco, so I had to go to 2 different places, but these are pretty cheap, less than $1 per radish. So when I first learned how to make this, we didn't use cilantro, but cilantro looks nice for the finish, so we're going to be using cilantro for this. Again, you can get this at your local supermarket for less than $1. Alright, moving on the right side, we have our wonderful classic knife, Yao. I'm actually looking into getting a Japanese kitchen knife because they're way sharper and they're really awesome. This is our old knife, so, please bear with me. Got our little shaving knife here to shave out the radishes later. Chopsticks, đũa. Spoon. We have our big pan, chảo. We have a drainer for cleaning, and we also have this big pot for the pork. And can't forget your awesome cutting board. For the onions and the garlic, I've already pre-cut them and put them inside this little bowl. You don't want to see me cut this again. You saw how struggling it was in the previous video, so here it is. But đâu bây giờ. So for all the cleaning and all that good stuff, we're gonna do that in our secret room. It's a bit cramped out here, so let's get a bit comfortable. Nice and easy. Okay, there we go. We got it. Rửa tay. Wash your hands. Take each individual piece and add it into our bowl. So the next thing we want to do is use the iodized salt to go ahead and apply to the pork, and then after that we'll add water into it to help clean it. Get a handful of the iodized salt here, apply it all over the pork, mix around that salt, make sure it sticks real good to all sides of the pork. Mix this for around 30 seconds. After that, pour in some sink water. So let's go ahead and just mix it with our hands. We're gonna do this for 1 minute. So next we're gonna go ahead and drain out the water. We have our little draining bowl here, so let's get this going. All right, the next step is we're gonna be cutting the fat. This white part, we're gonna cut this all off from all the pork pieces that we have. Remember, safety first. Be very careful when cutting things with a knife. An toàn rất là quan trọng. Remember, use the claw method. You can see we are struggling right now. It's not easy to slice through, it's just very difficult. So that's one complete. What we're gonna do now is in this big bowl, we're gonna add our little bowl of onions and garlic. Put that all in there. Next, we're gonna add all of our pieces of pork and throw it in there. We're gonna do this 4 more times with the rest of the pork, and then we'll continue. Okay, I just forgot that I accidentally threw in our pieces of fat that we cut out. Take that out right now. You can see that there's still a lot of meat attached to this part. Try your best to keep as much of the meat as possible, but if you got something like this going on with a lot of meat attached to it, just cut it off. Not a big deal. So right here, this is the type of thin strip you're trying to aim for the pork. So we finished cutting all of the pork pieces. They're all in here now, so let's go ahead and get into other stuff. We're going to add 1 handful of sea salt, 2 spoons of sugar, we're gonna pour garlic around the pork 3 times. Then we're going to add good old oyster sauce, just enough to cover the top. That should be good enough. So this is what we have here. Next, we're going to mix it with our hands. Want to make sure you also get the onions and the garlic at the bottom all over the pork. We're going to do this for about a good minute or two. The next thing we got to do is take our radish. We're going to take a shaving knife and shave off the outer parts all over the radish. Make sure that you wash this first. I think I'm doing this right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just let the shaving knife do the work. Just let it slide down. You don't have to be accurate. Just get all over the place and it'll fall into place. So it should look like something like this, really white in the inside because we shaved off the outer part of it. Next, we're gonna go ahead and use a knife. We're gonna cut this into little quarter-sized pieces, and after that, we're gonna cut that into fourths. First thing we're gonna do is get rid of the bottom part because we don't need that. We're gonna get rid of the top part too. Kind of get it right around there. Let the knife do the work. We're gonna go ahead and add the pan straight to this. We're going to add enough olive oil to fill half the pan. We're gonna add 2.5 spoons of sugar to get that flavor. Before we add the pork, we're gonna stir the sugar with the oil and make sure that it turns into an orange type of color. Something like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we missed the perfect timing to get in the pork. As you can see, everything's smoking up, the sugar turned black. We're gonna have to try again. See that? Look at that good stuff. Ready, set, go, 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 go. There we go. Looking good. Next up, all these guys. So we'll take it nice and slow. Oh my goodness, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. We're just gonna stir everything as best as we can to get all that equal distribution in there. Make sure that that sugar doesn't stay at the bottom so that, you know, it doesn't burn. The moment you smell that burning smell, you know you're in the red zone. Next, in order to make the radishes a bit soft, we're gonna add a little bit of some water into the mix. Something like that. The water will soak into the radish and a bit into the meat so that it softens it up. So again, since the water is at room temperature, we're gonna have to wait again until the stove heats that all up, and then we're gonna start seeing some boiling. The water will all eventually dissolve due to the heat, and the next thing you know, we'll be left with, you know, just our meat. I also want to talk to you all real quick. It's okay if you mess up, but just make sure you don't burn the house down. You learn from your mistakes, and the next time you do it, you know, you're better at it, and eventually you become a master. So this is episode 3. I'm still learning. You know, it'll take us a couple more episodes, a couple more attempts, and a lot more practice until we get this just right. So whatever happens, if it's your first time cooking and all that good stuff, don't give up, don't be discouraged. Just always remember to be safe, and then everything will be okay. For some reason, this is not looking like how I first learned it from my mom. Got this little foam up top. I think it's because I added too much water. It shouldn't be a problem though, because it smells good, so I think we're on the right track. It's just, I think what we're doing at this point is we're going on a different track. So don't panic, just get that meat down there to get it cooked. We'll wait a couple more minutes and hopefully we can pull a miracle. The meat's just around halfway cooked. We're gonna go ahead and add our good old fish sauce. Get around like 3 swirls in there. Oh my goodness. So based on my instructions on how to cook this should take us around 15 minutes to cook. With the extra water that we added, I think it's gonna take slightly longer, but as long as everything looks right, in around minimum 15 minutes, we should be solid. All right, so this actually smells pretty good. We're gonna do some quick checks to make sure that we cook this right. The first check is for the radish. If you're able to penetrate it with your chopsticks with little force and effort, then we're good to go, and the water did its justice. Kind of. Yeah, you stabbed this one right there. Got a little bit of some of that resistance there. Smells okay. Yeah, I think we're solid on that. The inside, it's kind of white, so I think we're good. Yep, We got it. All right, so it's starting to look like it's coming about. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the stove and let this sit for a few minutes. All right, so first off, time for the taste test. I'm shaking because of how odd this looks. I think that's it. I think we got it. So for presentation purposes, we're going to cut a few of these cilantro pieces and add it to the top. Honestly, I don't know where to begin because I've never done this before. So we're just gonna kind of take a guess at it. All right, y'all ready for this one? Gonna sprinkle that on the top. Then we're gonna sprinkle some of this. Get that leaf there. Also, don't forget, make sure to add a little touch of some black pepper to finish it all off. And there we have it, everyone. Tithel Veliku guy, braised pork with radish. I want to give a very special shout out to my good friend Jim and David. You guys are amazing. The next time we make this dish, it'll be much better. Again, when things don't go the way as planned, don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Just go with the flow and everything will be okay. Again, thank you all for watching this video. I'll see you all next time for episode 4. And this is me, Socrates. Until next time.